Hey everyone, for this video segment on the cajon, I'm going to explore with you a little more technique to build a foundation for being able to play lots of rhythms and fills and solos on the cajon. So to take the concept of alternating stroke a little bit further, let's look at a couple of different grooves and fills. The last video showed this idea of just hand, 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 hand to hand, alternating stroke, single stroke, to build a foundation for playing lots and lots of musical grooves. The money beat was one. Let's look this time at a few exercises to get the left side, right side used to playing different sounds in different configurations. And this can be just almost endless. So I'm going to suggest we do something, make up a little game and say, well, what if we hit a bass note and then a slap, and a bass note and a slap and a slap, bass, slap, slap, bass, slap, slap, bass, slap, slap. So you can just do that until you're really comfortable with it. If it seems awkward and you're stumbling at first, don't worry. All these things take a lot of repetition, usually for most of us, to get the body to understand what it feels like to make these kind of movements. And when you're comfortable with that, pick up the pace, slow it down, pick up the pace again and slow it down. So another technique is to use a metronome or some music and something slow and then double it and then come back to slow again. Right now I'm doing that without a metronome, so it's just a little bit free form, not too strict, but using a metronome or some recorded music in the background is a great way to develop that. Just going to mention quickly that there are endless number of ways to play the cajon. Some people like to play a lot with their lead hand and fill in the rest with their other hand. Some people like to kind of lead with both hands, and I'll give you an example of that now. And I don't promote either one. There is no right or wrong way. It's just whatever works for you. I can show you both ways of doing things and give some guidance as to how you can do that and do a fill or a little solo and come back to it. Because sometimes the hand movements are going to be important when you're coming in and out of a rhythm, and you don't want to stumble on the rhythm because you've come back to it with the wrong hand leading. Not the wrong hand, but the hand that you didn't intend to come back with. So what I mean is, if I play this, that's one way to play that groove that has that double bass drum, but there's other ways. So the first way, I was doing a double bass drum with the right hand. And the second way I was showing how to play that was by playing left-right on the bass. So that's just a very basic example of those two approaches. When rhythms get more complicated, that'll become more important for you to decide which way you prefer to do it. So let's see if I can show a quick example of something more complicated. Something like that. That's a lot of right hand leading with filling in between the main notes with the left hand. And if I break that up a bit between the hands, that's more alternating stroke and just accenting and moving the hands to revoice to create the same or some similar. So now I'm going to do a little bit of this with a backing track just to put it into context. So I hope you enjoyed this and hope it's useful. See you next time.